I represent Eastern Southeast, Eastern Northeast, and I am from Edo State. I rise to move that a bill for an act to amend the National Health Act 2014 to regulate international trips for medical treatment by public officers to strengthen the health institutions for efficient service delivery and for related matters be read for the second time. I so move. Once again, I'm Sergius Ose Ogun. I represent Eastern South. Mr. Speaker, this is a very harmless amendment to the National Health Act. I brought this bill to this chamber sometime last year, and my colleague, Honorable Ayodele, had to point to the fact that there's actually a bill, an act like this in existence. And I had to go and try and amend it, because what we are trying to cure here basically is the fact that public servants travel for treatment. And if public servants that prepare the budget, that pass the budget, that appropriate the money, do not see enough to adequately take care of the health institution, and when they have need to fly out for treatment, they do that at government expense, how are we ever going to fix our health system? So against this background, the bill is proposed to amend the Principal Act to regulate international medical trips, especially by public servants who are the custodians of public institutions in the country. This amendment will no doubt facilitate the development of effective healthcare facilities and general economic development. Objective of the bill. The bill seeks to amend the Principal Act to make provisions that regulate international trips by public officers in the Federation, strengthen existing public and private health institutions for efficient service delivery, create a conducive operating health environment that both attracts the best Nigerian medical brains in diaspora and other foreign medical personnel in search of greener pasture. Bring an end to a huge scenario of cash flight, which is inimical to economic growth and development. Boost economic growth through improved healthcare services. Create a healthy competition between public and private health institutions for the benefit of Nigerians. Facilitate the realization of standards and ethical compliance by health personnel in the country, and facilitate the realization of sustainable development goals in relation to health through the establishment of strong health institutions and vigilant regulatory authorities. And the content analysis. The bill has 4 clauses. Clause 1 amends the Principal Act, which is the parent legislation sought to be strengthened. Clause 2 amends Section 46 of the Principal Act, which substituted the existing Section 46 for a new Clause 46, with 11 paragraphs that contain details of how medical trip abroad is regulated. And Clause 3 amends Section 64 of the Principal Act by making provisions for more comprehensive definitions of relevant terminologies contained in the amendment bill. And then Clause 4 provides the citation of the bill. Mr. Speaker, my highly esteemed colleagues, in debating this bill, I want to make it clear to all of us that this amendment is not stopping anybody that has his money to travel from traveling. Because a couple of colleagues here have come to me to say, why should there be a blanket ban on people traveling for medical treatment? That's not what this amendment is saying. Nigeria is the only country where you have a president that goes outside the country to receive treatment and is told to go back home and die. Nigeria is the only country where you have a serving president goes abroad for treatment for 6 months. We don't know the cost of the bill for the medical expense. And then, Nigeria is also a country where you have a former vice president flown out to go and die and brought back. This is a shame, and we're a laughing stock of the world. And if we sit down here and think things will correct itself, it's never going to correct itself till we take steps to correct them. And that's basically what we are doing today. I'm going to urge everyone in this house today to support this bill. But in any case, if you don't support it, I won't hold it against you. But it will be said that somebody came here someday and raised and had a bill like this. I don't have issues with anybody voting against it, but I will urge you to support it. Because today we have Boko Haram in the northeast, we have militancy in the south-south, we have IPOB, and we think is normal. It's not. If the people we are representing don't think we are doing their bidding, how are they going to have a buy-in? That's the point I'm trying to make here. If government, if public servants are going to, that are preparing the budgets, that are appropriating the money, do not think there's any need to fix the healthcare system. And then the people we represent, the people that sent us here or that are paying the tax for which the civil servants are paid, are sick, they cannot afford even paracetamol, and then they die. What kind of representation is that? So, Mr. Speaker, I'm speaking from the heart. When I came here, before my inauguration, Mr. Speaker, I went to the US and I was told that I had hernia. I don't do my medicals here, and now apologies because I pay. I was told I had hernia, and I had seen a couple of doctors here that didn't even tell me, they could not tell me what the matter was. So that was after my election. So I just pleaded with my doctor that I was going to come back for inauguration and then come and do the surgery. And about that time, my mom took ill. She was sent to a hospital in Asaba. When I saw her, I saw the state she was in. I called a cousin of mine who is a medical doctor in South Africa to say I need an air ambulance to come take my mom out. He wanted to know the diagnosis. He spoke with the doctors and said, it can be handled. He told me it can be handled in Nigeria. But, Mr. Speaker, a week after, my mom passed on. And if you remember, we went on our recess in 2015, August. I was also leaving the country for the hernia operation. I was in Zurich when they called me to say, talk to your mom. She wants to go. Mr. Speaker, you can imagine that 10 hours flight to the US. I cried all through. I cried all through. And as I was touching there in the US, I got a call from my wife that my mother had slept in the Lord. The point I am making here, Mr. Speaker, my siblings had prepared documents. In short, my mom had a definite stay in the US, in the UK, but she didn't want to go outside. And I know most people are doing that for their parents today, but it should have been the other way around. In their old age, they should be in their country to receive medical care and not sending them outside. So I do not want to belabor this. I even want to also add that a colleague of mine, in May last year, we were about traveling to the US for an oil and gas show. He couldn't get flight out of Nigeria, so he went to Niger. He was telling me the friend's mom in Niger needed medical attention. They had to go to Côte d'Ivoire, not Nigeria. They had to go to Côte d'Ivoire. Nigerians spent so much money to liberate Liberia, Sierra Leone. What are the benefits of all that? We do not manufacture anything here, but at least we have the human resources. It could have been that we have the best healthcare in Africa, and they will be coming here. Those would have been the benefits, but there's nothing for that. Nothing to show for all the help, all the money spent, all Nigerian soldiers, the blood, the lives lost in all that campaign. So, Mr. Speaker, I'm just saying today, we need to do something. If we just think hiding our head like the ostrich in the sand and that something will happen, it will not happen. We will further exacerbate the whole problem by allowing these young people that we are not planning for. We are not planning for. We are not even talking about the unborn. We are talking about the ones that we have given birth to. We are not planning for them. Till we get up and do something in this country, Mr. Speaker, a day will come, nobody will be happy to say he's honorable or he's distinguished in this country. You want to hide that title. So I urge you to support this bill. Thank you.